Isn't it frustrating when something you thought was simple, like enjoying a meal or a drink, suddenly seems to be causing you trouble as we get a bit older? Our bodies change, and what worked perfectly fine before might start to create unexpected issues. You might find yourself getting up more often during the night, feeling a sudden urge to go to the bathroom that's hard to ignore, or just generally feeling less comfortable than you used to. It's a reality many of us face, and it can feel like you're losing a bit of control over your own body. You might wonder, is this just part of getting older? Or is there anything I can do about this? Well, sometimes. The secret to feeling better isn't a complex medical procedure or a new medication right away, but something much simpler: looking at what's on your plate. Yes, believe it or not, certain everyday foods and drinks can actually play a big role in how comfortable and healthy your urinary system is, especially as you pass the age of 60. In this video, we're going to look at 5 specific foods or food types that urologists often caution against for people in our age group, explaining why they can cause problems and what you might consider doing instead. It's not about deprivation, it's about making informed choices for better comfort and peace of mind. Stick around and watch to the very end, because one of these might truly surprise you and could be a key to feeling much better. Let's dive right in and start with the first type of food that might be causing you more trouble than you realize, particularly when it comes to bladder comfort and function: spicy foods. Now, I know for many of us, a bit of spice adds wonderful flavor to a meal. Whether it's a dash of hot sauce, a sprinkle of chili flakes, or enjoying ethnic cuisines known for their heat, spicy food is a pleasure for millions. But here's the thing. Especially as we age, the compounds that give spicy foods their kick, like capsaicin, don't just affect your mouth and digestive system, they can also irritate the lining of your bladder. Think about how your mouth feels after eating something really spicy. That burning, tingling sensation. Well, your bladder lining, which is quite sensitive, can react in a similar way to these irritants as they pass through your system. For someone over 60 particularly, if you already experience symptoms like urgency, that sudden, strong need to go, frequency going to the bathroom more often than you'd like, or even discomfort, spicy foods can often exacerbate these issues. They can make that urgent feeling stronger, make you need to go more often, and sometimes even cause a burning sensation when you do urinate. It's not uncommon for people to suddenly experience a flare-up of these symptoms after enjoying a particularly spicy meal. It's a direct irritation effect on the delicate tissues of the bladder. So, what does this mean for you? Does it mean you have to say goodbye to all your favorite spicy dishes forever? Not necessarily. The degree to which spicy foods affect someone varies greatly from person to person. Some individuals might be highly sensitive, while others can tolerate a fair amount of heat without noticing any difference in their bladder symptoms. The key is often awareness and moderation. Try paying attention to how you feel after eating spicy food. Do your urinary symptoms worsen in the hours or day after keeping a simple food diary for a week or two? Noting what you eat and when you experience symptoms can be incredibly revealing. If you identify a link, you don't have to eliminate spice entirely. You might find that reducing the amount of spice, choosing milder versions of dishes, or enjoying spicy food less frequently makes a significant difference. For example, instead of loading up on extra chili peppers, maybe use just a pinch. Or, if you love a certain hot sauce, perhaps try a milder brand or use just a few drops instead of a generous pour. It's about finding your own personal tolerance level. For some, even a tiny bit of black pepper or certain herbs like ginger and horseradish can be irritants. Though capsaicin from chilies is the most common culprit, the goal is comfort, not culinary sacrifice. Experiment gently and listen to your body. Moving on from the heat of spicy foods, let's talk about something many of us rely on to start our day or get through an afternoon slump: caffeine. Found most commonly in coffee, tea, soda, and energy drinks. Caffeine is a stimulant that affects your entire body, including your urinary system. For people over 60, excessive caffeine consumption can be a significant contributor to uncomfortable bladder symptoms. Caffeine is a known diuretic, which means it increases urine production. This alone can lead to needing to go to the bathroom more often and producing larger volumes of urine. But beyond just making more pee, caffeine also acts as a bladder stimulant. It can increase the activity of the bladder muscle, making it contract more often and potentially creating a stronger, more sudden urge to urinate. If you already deal with urgency or frequency, a few cups of coffee or several glasses of caffeinated soda throughout the day could be making those symptoms much worse. You might find yourself needing to locate a restroom more urgently and more frequently than you would otherwise. This can be particularly disruptive at night, contributing to those frustrating trips out of bed that interrupt your sleep. What constitutes excessive caffeine varies from person to person, but generally speaking, consuming multiple caffeinated beverages throughout the day is more likely to cause issues than just having one small cup in the morning. The type of beverage also matters. A large, strong coffee will have significantly more caffeine than a cup of black tea. Energy drinks are often packed with very high levels of caffeine and other stimulants that can be even more irritating. If you suspect caffeine might be contributing to your urinary discomfort, you don't necessarily have to quit cold turkey. Just like with spicy foods, moderation and alternatives are key. Consider cutting back gradually. If you drink several cups of coffee, try switching one or two of them to decaf. Decaffeinated coffee still contains a small amount of caffeine, but significantly less than regular herbal teas like chamomile or peppermint. Not black or green tea, which contain caffeine, are excellent caffeine-free alternatives that can be soothing and hydrating. If you rely on caffeine for energy, explore other strategies like getting enough sleep, staying well hydrated with water, or incorporating light physical activity, which can naturally boost your energy levels without irritating your bladder. Paying attention to the timing of your caffeine intake can also help. Avoiding caffeinated drinks in the late afternoon or evening can significantly reduce the number of times you need to get up during the night. It's about finding a balance that allows you to enjoy your day while minimizing bladder irritation. By making small adjustments to your caffeine intake, you might find a surprising improvement in your urinary comfort and overall quality of life. Now, let's think about another common beverage that can have similar effects. Continuing our discussion about what you drink, let's turn our attention to alcohol. While often enjoyed socially or as a way to relax, excessive alcohol consumption can have a detrimental impact on urological health, especially as we get older. Similar to caffeine, alcohol is a diuretic. This means it increases the rate at which your kidneys produce urine, leading to more frequent trips to the bathroom. It can also disrupt the signaling between your bladder and your brain, potentially worsening feelings of urgency. Beyond its diuretic effect, alcohol can also directly irritate the bladder lining in some individuals, similar to spicy foods or caffeine, though the mechanism might be slightly different depending on the type of alcohol. Some people find that certain types of alcohol, like beer or carbonated alcoholic beverages, are more problematic than others. This irritation can lead to increased frequency and urgency, making social outings or even just relaxing at home more challenging due to the constant need to find a restroom. Moreover, excessive alcohol intake can interfere with sleep patterns, and when combined with the diuretic effect, it's a common culprit for disrupting a full night's rest with multiple bathroom visits. This lack of restful sleep can then impact overall health and well-being. The key word here is excessive. Moderate alcohol consumption might not pose significant issues for everyone, but regular or heavy drinking is far more likely to cause urological problems. For people over 60, the body's ability to metabolize alcohol can also change, potentially making the effects more pronounced or longer lasting. What might have been a comfortable amount of alcohol in your younger years could now be contributing to discomfort or disruptive symptoms. If you're experiencing increased urinary issues, taking an honest look at your alcohol consumption is a good idea. Consider reducing the amount you drink, having alcohol less frequently, or choosing lower alcohol options. It's also important to alternate alcoholic drinks with water to stay hydrated and help flush your system. Although this will still increase urine production in the short term, if alcohol is a significant part of your social life. Explore non-alcoholic alternatives that you enjoy. Many restaurants and bars now offer a wide range of interesting mocktails and non-alcoholic beers or wines. Making conscious choices about when and how much alcohol you consume can have a noticeable positive effect on your urinary comfort and your ability to sleep through the night. It's about finding healthy habits that support your well-being without feeling deprived. Next on our list are highly processed foods, particularly those loaded with excessive sodium. These foods are a staple in many modern diets due to their convenience and often appealing taste, but they can be surprisingly detrimental to kidney and bladder health, especially for people over 60. We're talking about things like processed meats, sausages, bacon, deli slices, packaged snacks, chips, pretzels, crackers, ready-to-eat meals, canned soups, and many restaurant foods. The primary issue with many of these foods is their very high sodium content. While sodium is an essential mineral, consuming too much of it forces your kidneys to work harder to filter it out of your bloodstream. Over time, a consistently high sodium diet can put a strain on kidney function, beyond the long-term kidney implications. Excessive sodium intake affects your body's fluid balance. Sodium pulls water into your bloodstream, which can increase blood volume and blood pressure, an issue that can also impact kidney health. To help your kidneys process the excess salt, your body signals you to drink more water, leading to increased fluid intake. While staying hydrated is crucial, drinking large amounts of water to compensate for a very high sodium meal will naturally lead to increased urine production and more frequent bathroom trips. Furthermore, the chemicals, artificial flavors, and preservatives often found in highly processed foods can act as general irritants in the body, including potentially irritating the bladder lining for sensitive individuals. Think about how you feel after eating a very salty, processed meal, often a feeling of being bloated or dehydrated, followed by increased thirst and subsequent increased urination. For someone already dealing with bladder sensitivity or frequency issues, this can significantly worsen symptoms. Shifting away from highly processed foods towards whole, unprocessed options is one of the most powerful dietary changes you can make for overall health, including your urological system. Focus on fresh fruits and vegetables, lean proteins, whole grains, and healthy fats. When preparing meals, use herbs, spices, lemon juice, and vinegar to add flavor instead of relying heavily on salt. Read food labels carefully and choose options labeled low sodium or no added salt. Cooking more meals at home gives you control over the ingredients and the amount of salt used. It takes a little more effort than grabbing something prepackaged, but the benefits to your kidney health, blood pressure, and bladder comfort are significant. Reducing your intake of these sodium-laden processed foods is a simple yet effective step towards supporting your body's natural filtration system and reducing potential bladder irritation. Finally, let's talk about highly acidic foods, particularly citrus fruits and tomatoes. These are healthy foods in many respects, packed with vitamins and antioxidants, and a staple in many cuisines. However, for a significant number of people, especially those with sensitive bladders or conditions like interstitial cystitis (IC), the high acidity of these foods can be a major irritant. Think about the acidity level in things like oranges, grapefruits, lemons, limes, and products made from them like juices. Similarly, tomatoes, whether fresh, canned, or in sauces like pasta sauce or ketchup, are also highly acidic. When these acidic compounds are processed by your body and pass through the urinary tract, they can irritate the lining of the bladder. This irritation doesn't necessarily cause pain for everyone, but it can certainly trigger or worsen symptoms like urgency, frequency, and sometimes even a burning sensation during urination. It's a similar concept to how acidic foods can sometimes irritate the lining of your mouth or stomach. The bladder lining is also susceptible. Like other potential dietary irritants, The effect of highly acidic foods varies greatly from person to person. Some people can consume large amounts of orange juice or tomato sauce without any issue, while others find that even a small amount triggers noticeable symptoms. If you're experiencing bladder discomfort or increased urinary symptoms, it's worth considering if highly acidic foods are playing a role. As with spicy foods and caffeine, keeping a food and symptom diary can be very helpful in identifying potential triggers. Note down when you consume citrus fruits, juices, or tomato-based products and whether your symptoms worsen afterward. If you identify a link, you don't necessarily have to eliminate these foods entirely. Although some individuals find complete avoidance provides the most relief, you might find that you can tolerate small amounts, or that cooked tomatoes are less problematic than raw ones or concentrated sauces. Diluting citrus juice with water can also help reduce its acidity. If you're trying to reduce your intake of these foods, there are many wonderful, less acidic fruits and vegetables you can enjoy instead. Think blueberries, apples, pears, green beans, cucumbers, and leafy greens. Swapping out tomato-based sauces for creamier sauces, pesto, or olive oil and garlic-based options can also make a difference. The goal is to identify if these healthy but acidic foods are negatively impacting your bladder comfort and to find ways to modify your diet to reduce potential irritation without sacrificing nutrition. It's about making smart substitutions that support your urological health while still enjoying delicious meals. So, we've talked about spicy foods, excessive caffeine, excessive alcohol, highly processed foods high in sodium, and highly acidic foods like citrus and tomatoes. It might seem like a lot to consider, but the main takeaway here isn't to feel overwhelmed or deprived. It's about awareness and empowerment. Understanding how these common foods and drinks can potentially impact your urological health as you age gives you the power to make informed choices. Remember, you don't have to eliminate everything overnight, and you certainly don't have to give up foods you love if they aren't causing you problems. The goal is simply to be mindful. If you are experiencing uncomfortable symptoms like increased frequency, urgency, or discomfort, take a closer look at your diet. Are you consuming a lot of spicy food? Are you relying heavily on coffee or soda? Is alcohol a regular part of your routine? Are processed foods high in sodium a big part of your meals and snacks? Are you consuming lots of citrus juice or tomato products? Even small, gradual changes can make a significant difference. Maybe you start by swapping one of your daily coffees for a decaf, or you choose a less spicy option when eating out. Perhaps you focus on reducing processed snacks and cooking more meals from scratch. Paying attention to salt content. Instead of a large glass of orange juice every morning, you might try diluting it with water or switching to a less acidic fruit smoothie. It's about experimenting gently and observing how your body responds. What works for one person might not work for another. So personal experimentation is key. Listen to your body. It often sends clear signals if something isn't agreeing with you. And always remember that this information is for educational purposes. If you are experiencing persistent or severe urinary symptoms, it is absolutely crucial to talk to your doctor or a urologist. They can help you determine the underlying cause of your symptoms, which could be due to various factors, and provide personalized advice and treatment options. Dietary changes can be a helpful tool, but they are just one piece of the puzzle when it comes to managing urological health after 60. The encouraging message here is that you have more control than you might think over how you feel. By being mindful of what you eat and drink, you can potentially reduce uncomfortable symptoms, improve bladder control, support kidney health, and enjoy greater comfort and confidence. It's about making sustainable, healthy choices that allow you to live your best life at every age. Don't see these suggestions as restrictions, but rather as opportunities to discover new favorite foods and habits that nourish your body and support its functions. Every small positive change you make adds up and contributes to your overall well-being. Taking care of your health, including your urological health, is an act of self-kindness, and it allows you to continue enjoying all the wonderful things life has to offer without being held back by discomfort or worry. We'd love to hear from you. Have you noticed any specific foods or drinks affecting your bladder or urinary system? What strategies have worked for you in managing dietary triggers? Share your experiences and tips in the comments section below. Your insights could be incredibly helpful to others in our community. If you found this video helpful and informative, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps us reach more people who could benefit from this information. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to our channel and hitting that notification bell so you don't miss our future videos on health, wellness, and living a fulfilling life after 60. We're here to share practical tips and encouraging advice to help you navigate this stage of life with confidence and vitality. Remember, small changes can make a big difference to your health and happiness. Take care of yourself. Listen to your body. And keep making choices that help you live your best life at every age.